Andrew, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So do you think you
Andrew
accomplished
speaking from the.
something? Think you accomplished something in that last room?
I don't know what that's meant to be.
Do you have
Wait,
a
we're
concept of accomplishing things?
I think we accomplished finding out who's pretty wild.
And you think that it's a good to just let these bloodthirsty demons just like drool and ghoul themselves over this man's death?
No, I don't think it's. I think it needs to be rebutted. Speaking of which, Andrew, have I introduced you to my friend Bob?
Yeah, I want to talk to you, bro. Like, I don't understand what
Well,
the fuck you're doing.
can't
Like,
just. You
do you
gotta
think it's good to just let these demons just like
lead
do
by.
their thing for hours on end, talking to them like they're reasonable people that we should just engage with?
I mean, I think they're people.
Yeah, sure. And once they let on to their just absolute abhorrent nonsense, you think it's good to just let them go on for hours and hours?
I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by let them. I mean, we're in a social
You're a
room.
mod, bro.
Yeah, what do I do? Kick them down? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
moderate.
Um, Well, maybe we'll have to have a discussion in private on that, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think we're in a public space trying to engage on issues we disagree on. I would like to, I think it's kind of good that people are saying these things publicly because I think it just kind of puts makes them committed to what they're saying.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
sure. Sure. Yeah, and that can be accomplished in about 5 minutes. But you just let it go on and on and on. You're addicted to this. You're addicted to blood sports.
I think, well, this is actual blood sports, and I don't know. I
This doesn't
mean,
even rise to the dignity of blood sports. This is like mud sports.
well, I think it's worth.
okay. Black Andrew, why are you here?
I'm here to talk to Andrew because I'm worried about this guy. I think Andrew generally is probably one of the like most good-hearted people on the app. I think he's a sweetheart at bottom.
He
But I think
used to be. Used to be.
I think hanging around in these spaces is poisoning him.
I don't think so. I think he's doing what Charlie Kirk does. He's allowing debate. He's allowing people to come together and express their
Nah,
views, their
nah,
vitriol. Yeah,
no.
because
Justin,
I
Justin,
get
he's
to
changed.
hear
Andrew's
the
changed.
How
worst
dare
kinds of
you
thoughts.
compare
He's
this man
changed.
to the great Charlie Kirk? How dare.
I'll talk to
Well,
you next, Sully. You're sus, bro. You're
I get
sus
to
on this
hear
topic.
I get to hear
I don't
all your
think
kinds of responses that I won't get from an echo chamber. So that's appreciated by people like myself. Now, I think Andrew loves that people are outside their echo chamber and actually wrestling with ideas instead of just trying to always build in your own little nice, perfect house, your little
You're
world, your
missing my
kingdom.
point, Justin. You're missing my point.
Yeah,
My
you want
point
to
is not
accomplish something.
no, my point is not let's not talk to people that disagree with us. Obviously, I agree with that. Obviously, someone like Charlie Kirk agreed with that. But there's a level and a point at which it becomes unproductive. It becomes casting pearls before swine.
To
It
who?
becomes what the fuck are you talking about?
I think it's productive.
I don't want to talk with you. I want to talk with Andrew. So you go ahead and say your piece.
Well, I already made my point is that
Great, and
you
you can
can't
shut
find it.
up.
You can't find construction in this.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think that it's a good to just let these demons just go on and on and on for hours, besmirching this motherfucker that just got shot in front of all of us?
Well, I don't know. I think the framing of the question's a little odd. I mean, I don't think it's good that they're doing that. I think it's good to rebut it. I've been trying to, haven't had a whole lot of support. I think that, I still want to hear what they think about these issues. Some of these people, some of these demons are my friends. So I don't know. I mean, they may not consider me a friend, but I consider them a friend. So I don't know, man. It's a pretty
Yeah,
crappy
you think,
situation.
yeah, obviously I agree we should love our enemies, right?
Yeah, but I mean, beyond that, I mean, I actually like some of the people here.
Yeah, sure, so do I. Okay, but at a
Well, we all
certain
hate
point,
toast, so can we like remove them?
it becomes disgusting what you're involved in, bro. Like
Well,
you
I'm
should be better than this. Okay, there is a point at which it becomes diminishing returns. You're familiar with that concept,
of
yes?
course, yeah, of course.
And you're
I
steeped
mean,
in it.
well, brother. So the alternative is what we don't do
Brother.
a room. We don't do a room at all because
Okay,
we
see
know.
now, can you please try to track my point?
No, I am tracking, brother. What I'm saying is this is bound to come up. This is on people's hearts right now. This is going to be something that's going to be talked about. So what do? We just don't stay on the app until
No,
everybody gets.
no, no, no. I just said, yeah, of course we can engage with people. We can
Okay,
let
but
Sasha come up here. We can let Sasha come up here and say, well, actually, if you see what ICE is doing, then you could understand why political violence is justified. Yeah, yeah, Sasha can say that. And then you can kick Sasha after that.
yeah, I could kick Sasha after that.
That was not really the worst thing Sasha said at all, but
Yeah, I mean, trust me, it bothers me deeply, the stuff that is being said.
Okay, well,
I don't
guess
even know if
what?
MJ is going to come
Guess
back
what?
on the app.
You are the app now.
wait, what happened to MJ?
Okay? You understand that?
He was disgusted about the stuff that he was hearing people saying and the way that they were trying to defend what
From
happened
Stan?
and all that.
Yeah, MJ had a normal human being reaction. You're over here
Did
like
you
some
say from
kind of
Stan?
dead soul fucking brick wall.
Well, I was also hoping that people would come in. I understand. Sasha was saying egregious stuff. I mean, I still consider Sasha a friend.
Oh
It's
my
not.
god.
I wouldn't just allow Sasha to say egregious stuff when it suits me or is in favor of something I'm in favor of. I don't want to be like that. So if she's saying stuff that I totally disagree with, I still want to allow her to be able to say it. I'm not gonna like move her down. I think that'd be really. I don't know. I don't feel
Okay,
that way.
Andrew, what you're
But
not
I
really
was
engaging with the point, bro.
but I was trying to get people to come in, and I wanted people to come in that would be able to engage, not just myself. I didn't want it to just be me. There should be other people that are willing to engage all of these points. So
Did
I
you
don't know
say
what to
that
say.
Sam drove MJ away?
No, I don't know that Sam did that. I think Sam was
Or I thought you
actually
said
Okay, look, Andrew,
no.
you're still not engaging with the point, my
Okay,
dude.
what specific point did I not engage with? I thought he just said.
Please try to steel man what I'm telling you, please.
I thought you meant what he said. What you're saying is that Sasha did that. It didn't need
no.
to be
Look,
going on.
he's saying that you are Clubhouse. Everybody follows you around, and you need to take more accountability for like the shit that.
I fully sign on to your project of letting people hang themselves, with the things that they say. I'm fine with that, okay? But that goal can be accomplished in a matter of
Well,
moments,
it's not
okay?
just
And
that.
you're over here letting them go on for
I
hours.
hear you, but it's not just that. It's also rebutting it. I mean, look, I think it's egregious what they say, but I think the stuff that people say about God and stuff they say about Scripture is also egregious. But I mean,
Andrew, you can do your rebuttal. What you're not understanding is some of these people are demon possessed brick walls. And at a certain point, you are at for someone that's sola scriptura, you are in such violation of this commandment to not cast pearls before swine. You habitually cast pearls before swine. I've told you this in DMs and back channel. You never fucking respond to any of it. You won't even respond unless we're in some stupid room that's being recorded.
we're not being recorded right now, and I'm responding.
Well, we have some stupid anon in here because this app is like dying and needs money. So the anons have to still come in here. So we probably are. But I still think you should answer for this.
I mean, I don't know, buddy. I just don't take it to be that this is like casting pearls before. I don't think I'm trying to give them clearly just a moral failing on their behalf, and I don't know what to do about it. I think it needs to be rebutted with reason. I mean, I was hoping people would do that. We're not talking about theological issues. I mean, so I don't really know. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to give them the gospel.
The vast majority of the time, obviously, I'm talking about the theological rooms. We just happen to be in an egregious example of where these disgusting people are over here like either cheering, justifying, whatever they're doing to be like, oh, I didn't really like the guy, watching him get his head
Yeah,
blown off
anything
in
short
public,
of sucking his dick and like praising him as some kind of like
Well,
martyr
Sully,
for
I'll,
whatever
I'll
the
talk
fuck.
to you next, bro, because I'm
That's not okay.
disappointed I'm disappointed in you, bro.
I don't
Like I thought you
care.
had like some
I
I
just
thought you had like some
I don't
humanity.
understand this. You're painting this with a really broad brush, like you're painting across like all views, aside from just like, oh my god, if you're saying anything other than he was a great guy, and this is
No,
like
no, that's
one
not
of the
my point at
biggest
all. That's not my point at
tragedies
all.
this
That is not
year.
my point at all, Sully.
Okay, and what is?
My point is this. It's a fucking tragedy. It's fucking horrifying, okay? And it's happening a million times a day in Gaza, and we should be just like a million times more outraged about Gaza. And to the extent that people aren't, fuck them, okay?
You're
But this is
saying
one case.
a million
Oh, bro,
times a day.
you better shut your
This
fucking
guy
face.
who was assassinated supported the genocide in Gaza.
I
Like
wasn't
he
aware that
didn't give a fuck
Sasha.
about children being burned alive. Okay,
Okay,
and he said that
okay,
empathy is bullshit. Okay,
okay.
so I don't
First
feel
of
bad
all,
for the guy. I'm sorry, man.
first of all, I don't expect a ton from you, okay? Given what your commitments are. Okay, but I don't give a fuck if Charlie Kirk was the worst person in the world. I still mourn that his fucking family and his 1 year old and 3 year old kids are gonna grow up without a fucking father with this horrific burden. Okay, I mourn the loss of a soul. Okay, no matter what he believed. Okay, I totally disagree with Charlie Kirk on like a million issues. He's like totally antithetical to my project. We have like
Yeah,
the
I feel
tiniest bit of
bad for his
overlap.
kids too. I feel bad for
Yeah,
them.
so
They didn't do
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
They
So
didn't do
leave it
anything
at that,
wrong.
okay? Leave it at it's a
What do you mean
tragedy.
leave it
It's
at
a
that?
fucking it's a tragedy. Bringing up the shit about he also had opinions. I disagree. Who cares?
He was a horrible person. I don't
Who
like.
the
Look,
fuck cares?
I'm
Who
telling you,
cares?
Another
this is
way,
why
an-
I don't care about him.
Sully, I'm just saying, bro. Like, you should say, "Wow, it's a fucking tragedy." Like, God, I feel horrible for his family, and leave it at that. Okay? This other shit about you disagree with it. It's not the fucking time for that. That's like disgusting.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand what you're getting at with this. Like, look, especially given the fact that everybody else is gonna like elevate his life above the lives of poor people who get killed every fucking day, right? I don't have any special fucking sympathy for this cunt, compared to all the other people who die all the time. And you wanna treat him like he's some fucking special figure, right? Who I'm supposed to feel especially bad, got killed.
Look, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I agree with a general point that we should be outraged at the loss of life, especially when it's super egregious. Yeah, I agree with that general point. And sure, there's some inequality when it comes to the focus that famous people get when they die. Yeah, I can agree with those general points. But the shit that you're saying earlier, bro, like I expect better from you, man. Like, who gives a
Like
fuck
what?
if he had unpopular opinions? Who gives a fuck if you didn't agree with his policies? If you think that he, didn't have the kind of empathy, be better than him. Then
What do you have an issue with that I said?
you're just bringing up all these stupid points that I see all over the internet. Like, did you know that he said that empathy was like BS, right? And did you know that like he
Yeah,
supported
but I'm
like the war in
explaining why I
Gaza?
don't give a fuck that he died. That's
Yeah, you
why I
should
don't
give a
give a
fuck,
fuck
okay? You
that
should
he
give a fuck
died.
if anyone dies. And
Why?
especially when they're shot senselessly in
Why?
front
That
of their
doesn't
family, bro. You're
look.
fucking heartless.
I feel for his kids, because again, they didn't do anything wrong. You know, I'm not saying that like they deserve to have their father killed. I'm not even saying he deserved to get shot. I don't think he deserved to get shot. I think
Good.
whoever shot him is a murderer.
Yeah,
I think
good.
whoever shot him is a murderer. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck that he died. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
It means that like I don't care that he died. If he had choked to death on a ham sandwich, I wouldn't care. Like,
Well, that's just a fucking commentary on you then.
okay, well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me.
Exactly.
Then. I mean, it sounds like all you're doing is complaining about people's opinions of this event anyway.
I
So
think this is
No,
really
I'm just
trying to
expecting
show the
better of
left
the
for what
people
they
that
really are.
I think
yeah,
highly
because
of.
you think their
Narcissistic,
opinions are like not
psychopathy.
good and like, oh, they need to do better and have better opinions. You're crying
You're
about their
just
opinion.
disappointing me as a human.
I don't care. Be
I know
disappointed.
you
I don't
don't
care.
care. No, you're just further confirming that my model of you is fucked.
Okay.
And you, Andrew, what the fuck, bro? Get right.
Hey, Truthy, I am kind of curious. How long does Charlie Kirk need to be like buried for before we start talking about like Charlie Kirk's views? Like when are we allowed to talk about those things?
Yeah, I don't know. Give it a week, maybe.
Okay, that's fine. I'm good with a week from now. I'll be yeah, that's fine. Yeah, actually talk about Charlie Kirk's views and like if he was like coherent about his like philosophy about life and all that other shit.
Look, I already
But yeah.
said I disagree with Kirk on many issues. He's, I think, somewhat opposed to my project, but I don't care. And I'm happy to call out people that are going to cry about Charlie Kirk and then be like, but Israel, I mean, like they're pretty justified in what they're doing. So yeah, I'm fine with calling out that
But
kind
I'm
of
not
hypocrisy.
saying that, like, I would never say that the guy who shot him was justified in shooting him. I don't think there was a good reason to shoot the guy. You know, I think that what needs to happen, like, as a result of this, is that, if people want to talk about political violence, okay, and they want to say political violence is unacceptable, I'm going to agree with that as long as political violence is defined more broadly than just violence towards elites. Like that's the thing that it ends up sounding like a euphemism for a lot of the time when people start decrying political violence, that they just mean violence against elite figures. Okay. But those same elite figures co-opt the state's monopoly on violence, right? And then turn around and say any violence towards us is unacceptable. Okay. That I'm not okay.
Look, if
You
what
know,
if what you're trying to say is that something like what I heard Sasha say in the brief time that I spent in that other room, whereby some implementation of like aggressive immigration policy, deportations, is like equivalent to just like assassinations. Is that what you're trying to say? You're construing violence
I'm
that
not drawing
broadly,
an
or no?
I'm not drawing an equivalence between specific instances of political violence in any case anyway, right? Now there are instances of people being killed, which I think are political violence, that aren't called that, and they are advocated for and enacted in seemingly an acceptable way. Okay, I think that happens pretty frequently actually, you know. And then people start decrying it, typically when it's violence against elite figures, you know. Like look, if you think about how law enforcement policy, right, results, like whatever that policy may be, maybe it's like lack of training for police officers, maybe it's like hiring the wrong people, maybe it's not firing a guy that you should fire when you know he's like got a fucking itchy trigger finger or whatever the fuck else it is, right? Or it's over policing or whatever. People on the ends of the gun of a jumpy cop, their lives get thrown away all the time. And a lot of times those cops aren't even prosecuted for it. That could be arguably a form of political violence. There's a lot of things like that I think are political violence. That are not even called that, right? And so if political violence is going to become a euphemism for just these violence against elite figures or whatever, I have a problem with that. Now, again, I'm not justifying it. I think it's unacceptable, right? But I think it's unacceptable in the broad frame, you know.
Look, I'm fine to say that racist pigs that are out there with an itchy trigger finger need to be roundly condemned. Yeah, that's an easy moral win there, no problem. But what I don't like is that there's this kind of tendency that I see in that previous room where it's not like we have to put qualifications on everything. We can't just say, God, this is like a horrible sign of the time that like the party that happens to be in power is getting their president shot at, is getting their top influencers, one now dead, the other one an attempted assassination. And that like, oh, well, let's just put some qualifications on this, because they're real bad people. Like this is just bullshit, and it's going to lead to a future that none of us want.
It's not okay. Look, I am not justifying. Okay, this country is going down the shitter. Okay, it's been on a track to go down the shitter for quite some time now, right? And you want to say it's a sign of the times? Fine, it is, and I agree with you, right? it's a symptom, you know. And this kind of stuff, like, look, again, I think the reason why I just brought up this idea of having a conversation about what does political violence really consist in, right? I think would go a long way, because I think there are a lot of sentiments out there that there is rampant political violence that's not even being called that. You know, it's not being decried appropriately. And I think it's the same thing that MLK said about riots. You know, it's the language of the unheard, in a sense. If things keep going as they've been going, okay, there will be more violence. Whether that's, I'm not saying it's good, obviously, right? But people need to start thinking more about like what's actually fucking going on. You know, just talk about the value of shit. I might be sorry. If you want to talk about the value of human life, okay, fine. But it can't just be for elites. It can't be for elites.
Yeah, sure. I can agree with that. I just think part of the rub of this exact death, to the extent that we can talk about this exact death, is that you got this guy that literally made his like career on just like, let's talk it out, and has all this rhetoric about like, you know, the purpose of conversation as opposed to violence, right? There are legitimate assholes out there like meme Nazis and like groups that people with like guns trying to like do some bullshit takeover nonsense, right? Or left-wing groups that, you know, look similar and have similar aims. Okay, this guy is like a normie milquetoast conservative that's out here like, hey, let's talk it out, you know, and they still shoot him. It's disgusting.
I missed a bunch of what you said.
It doesn't matter. I was here to talk to Andrew anyway.
That speaks more about what a milquetoast conservative is today than any.
Did someone say toast?
Yeah, he's slightly right of center, aka literally Hitler.
He's obviously not rightly side of center. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's slightly right of center.
And I hear yield and
We didn't get that, Sully. Try again.
I was saying I come on here and I hear people, you know, okay, people talk about George Floyd. They're like, oh, you know, he had drugs in his system. You know, he had priors, all this shit, you know. And it's like, I hear people, you know, a lot of the same people now who are like, you know, oh my God, how can you not understand that like a human life was lost in this circumstance and so on? Like a lot of these same fucking people, you know, make excuses for other instances that are like, you know, just like clearly just as much beyond the pale in terms of like a person not you know, the killer not being in the right, you know, in killing this person, and they don't give a fuck. You know, I think that there's a lot of like devaluing of human life to go around. You know,
Yeah, Sully. Yeah,
and
yeah. Obviously,
I
anybody that looks at the
think,
George Floyd
yeah,
situation and says,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, it's reasonable to let someone just fucking die under your knee as they scream and cry for help." Yeah, those people are also horrible.
right. I agree that they're horrible, right? But this is the thing: I'm not making defenses for the guy that shot Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm not making defenses for it. You know, if all these people were saying was like,
You're those people
yeah,
that
but
when George Floyd was
I'm not.
sitting there screaming, right? Just saying, "Hey, I can't breathe," and the stupid pig on his neck is just like, hey, you know, deer in the headlights. You're the people going. You're the same person going, well, you know, he passed a fake 20. You know, he had like 30 drugs and he resisted.
No, but I'm not doing that though, really good. Right?
Yeah,
because I'm not.
but you're
I'm not.
bringing all the qualifications.
No, those people are literally.
George
You
Floyd
understand
was a
those?
bad guy.
Yeah, I understand, but you understand that those people are saying that like Chauvin shouldn't like be prosecuted and shit like this, right? If they catch the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, he should go to jail. Okay, like he should be tried and he should go to jail. He's a murderer, you know, like 100% murderer, you know. The people that are making these other arguments in the cases of people like George Floyd are saying Chauvin is not a murderer. You know, he's justified and so forth. So it's like I'm not making those appeals. You know, um, but I think people like Charlie Kirk, play a role in this kind of like political environment that you think is this is a symptom of. You know, like that's like the major point for me is that he's a political agitator who has encouraged the kinds of sentiments that lead to this sort of thing. You know.
What I'm trying to say is that your qualifications and all your caveats in the other room are equivalent to going, well, George Floyd, he's got a criminal past, and he's a drug addict and a porn star, and he held a gun to a pregnant woman or whatever that nonsense was, right? You're the guy out there saying that when the guy just got killed
How am I
because of
that guy?
callous indifference.
I don't understand.
Because you're bringing up irrelevant shit in the face of a tragedy.
The people who say those things are trying to say that the person who killed him is not guilty of murder. I'm not saying that.
Not everybody that was on the other side of that was saying that. Okay, maybe some people.
Yeah, but if all they're saying is that like George Floyd wasn't a good person, I'd be like, okay, maybe he wasn't. I don't really know. I don't know. In the case of Charlie Kirk, I know he wasn't a good person.
Look, it's just as irrelevant is my point, okay? When a tragedy like this happens, or seeing this guy's blood just flow out in front of us, we should have one response. This is a fucking tragedy. This is horrifying. It should never get to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am saying that he shouldn't have been shot. So I don't really understand.
So leave the caveats in the fucking trash where they belong.
They're not caveats, right? Because if it was a caveat, that would mean, it has some bearing on me saying he shouldn't have been shot. That's a full stop, right?
Okay, good.
Like
however you want to clarify
it's not a caveat. It's just
leave the shit about his life out of it and just leave it at the moral point. That's a fucking tragedy.
Why? I don't understand this. Like, what are like?
Yeah, I can see.
No, I genuinely don't though. Like you're saying, like, oh, don't say anything about the guy. Just say it's a tragedy and don't say anything else about this guy.
Yeah, you disagree with his
because
politics.
reasons.
Okay, great.
Like,
you
what?
disagree with his politics. Who fucking cares?
No, I think he's genuinely like a fucking piece of shit. It's not just disagreeing with his politics, right? There's plenty of people who have the same. There's plenty of people who have the same politics that he had, who did not do the same kinds of things he did. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to even make of what you're saying. It's like.
Great. So maybe George Floyd was a bad guy. It's fucking uncouth to bring it up when the guy's fucking 24 hours dead.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't understand this at all.
I can tell.
Like, I'm not so if a bad person dies, you just have to be sad for a few days, and then you can talk about how they were a bad person.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you have some semblance of humanity, maybe.
Yeah, I don't agree. So.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't know why anybody should agree with you. You're not giving any reasons to support what you're saying. You're just like emoting at me.
I'm just saying it's disgusting. You don't have to agree.
Okay, well, it's like an emotion. You're emoting. I don't know what to tell you.
So a couple things that they might want to say too, Truthi. Like number one, if Hitler died, should we have the same feelings about that? From their perspective, not to say that this is on the scale of Hitler, but it's more than just disagreement. It's like this guy's doing horrific or egregious things. He's supporting Trump, supporting Israel, supporting anti-trans legislation, all this stuff, that's causing actual harm, causing actual lives to be lost, all these different things. So, that's one thing, right? They want to say.
Truthi is like just trolling and grandstanding.
Then the other thing is going to be, well, you make jokes, you make racial jokes. So why can't we joke about this? The tragedies, that have occurred historically, whether it be with the Holocaust or the antebellum South or slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, whatever. It's going to be the case that, you're making jokes and you think that that's acceptable, even though people in the midst of you are being hurt by that. These are much worse than one person dying. Why is that acceptable? But yet, saying that, hey, you shouldn't joke about this guy's blood gushing out of his neck. I think those two things, maybe you could respond to that. That's kind of some of the stuff that I heard.
Yeah, it's just fucking irrelevant. Like, obviously, we mourn any life loss. And obviously, we can be happy that if some horrific torturer is dead, that he can no longer inflict like horrific tortures. But this, like I said, is just some fucking milk toast. He's not even a fucking politician. Like, it's a joke.
You think that he's trolling, honestly, Bob? You think that Truthi's trolling?
Yeah. Well, part of it is.
Yeah, trolling and grandstanding.
Hey, Andrew, you didn't answer my question. You think you accomplished something in that last room?
I think I did answer it. I think at least it brought out people's views. You said that could be done quicker. I mean, I guess that's true. That's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, like you are the app now, okay? And as I've heard it said, with great power comes great responsibility, and you're fucking failing.
Well, who am I supposed to listen to, Truthie? I mean, and you know, I've got
all you have is yourself. You don't have a fucking priest that you confess to, right? So I guess just yourself.
well, I have other Christians who I'm accountable to, but I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
Not
I
really.
mean,
Okay, what
What do you mean
Christians
you're
are
accountable?
those?
What the fuck does that mean?
no, I mean, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? What does that mean?
What do you mean when you say you have other Christians?
I have a Christian family and a network of people that I'm accountable to. I'm not just rogue running and do my own
Okay,
thing.
am I part of that network?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, you're fucking
And
failing.
I'm listening to you. And I'm listening to
Okay,
you.
well, I hope that it sinks the fuck in, because it seems like everything I say to you, it just goes on to the next bullshit room where you just let these demons foam at the mouth for hours on end to no fucking avail, like to no purpose.
Well, what do you think would be what do you think would be an accomplishment? Like, what would that look like?
I don't know,
Some one
moderating,
person
yeah, like
changing that?
a
No.
modicum of moderation in both senses of the word.
But I don't think you heard what I said. I mean, I don't think I think that many times I was like, dude, this isn't cool, and you guys need to knock it off, quit saying this stuff, and let's move on to something else. I think I did say that.
The
So
only thing I saw you do was remove concrete. It's about the most I saw you do.
I told Timothy that he's freaking insane, and I think that the stuff that's being espoused is egregious.
At this point, I think you'd be better off in fucking Matt Yester's rooms than running these rooms. Yeah, do you agree with this project, Sully, of doing those debates with people and talking with people and all of the shit that he said about like, hey, it's really important we like talk things out because if we can't talk, then such and such, bad things can happen. Do you agree with that project?
I don't have any issues with like people having debates and so forth. So I agree with it to the extent that I think like it's good for people to debate things publicly. So
Okay.
like,
Do you think it would have been better if he just like stabbed his opponents on a fucking subway?
Obviously not. I don't know why you're asking me this silly question.
Sully, I appreciate your admission that killing Charlie Kirk for his support of the genocide in Gaza is of little to no effect on the overall genocide. Now, do you think Chuck Schumer supports the Gaza genocide?
Yeah.
Do you think the vast majority of Congress supports the genocide?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that killing them would be of much more of a direct action against the genocide?
I mean, I don't think killing any of them would stop it.
Okay. Do you support killing any of the people where it could actually materially support some kind of removal of the monetary support to the genocide?
If you're trying to say like you want to set up a hypothetical where if this person is killed, then I don't know. You could tell me however many lives are going to be saved as a result of that, right? Then I think it's basically a trolley problem.
Who was the
I don't think that's actually the.
who was the senator that did the filibuster to try to prevent funding to Israel?
Filibuster. I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
There was a senator who tried to, at one point of the many times that we've given them billions to do their genocide, that stood up and did a filibuster all night for some ridiculous amount of time.
The only
You
one I
remember who that
remember
was?
recently was Cory Booker, I think, did a filibuster, but I don't remember what it was for. So,
Yeah, Rand Paul.
oh, Rand Paul.
One of the very few people. What party is he a member of?
I think he's libertarian. I
Libertarian.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah. But I think he's actually a Republican. So
Um,
I'm
I
just
don't know
trying
if
to.
that's.
I,
He is a Republican.
No, he is. He's a
Republican.
Republican.
Is he
He's
registered?
one-
I think he might. Wait. Does he just caucus with them, or is he registered as a Republican?
He's not a Bernie Sanders. He doesn't just caucus with them. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to figure out to the extent to which that that you think that this there would be some justification in killing
you're
the
right, he is
people
a
that
Republican.
materially support the genocide.
But
Well,
I don't understand why you're bringing up Rand Paul. What is the question?
My point is that, like, it's obviously the case that, to whatever degree Charlie Kirk supported the genocide, like, it's abhorrent, but killing him does little to
Yeah.
nothing to affect that. But there's plenty of people
Right.
that we could imagine that their death potentially could. And it's basically the majority of Congress. There's like one senator and maybe the squad that actually is against the tragedy that's been going on there for
but I don't
longer than I can
understand.
imagine.
I just answered this though, right? Like, look, if you had like decent knowledge that killing this guy would save hundreds, if not thousands, of innocent lives, right? Then I look at that as a trolley problem. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't think we're in that situation where we know that. We know that killing this person would save this number of lives in Gaza or something like that. In fact, like, I think that's probably false, that killing any individual senator, would actually save lives in Gaza. I don't think that would actually work that way. So I don't know, like, I don't really understand, like, what you're asking. Are you asking me something I haven't already answered?